Good morning, everyone. This is Chair French convening the business meeting of the Kansas Corporation Commission for this Thursday, March 7th, 2024, joined by my colleagues Commissioner Keene and Commissioner Keither this morning. And we've got a few extra attendees online with us today, but we'll get to that later. On today's agenda for the regular business meeting, we have 17 consent agenda items, 3 noticed items, and then we have 1 discussion item. Commissioners, we will start with our consent agenda. You've had the opportunity to review the items on that. Let me ask at this time if there are any questions, and I will begin with Commissioner Keither
No, thank you. Not at this time.
and Commissioner Keene.
No questions. However, I would note that I am recusing from consent agenda item number 2. With that in mind, I would move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda, noting Commissioner Keene's recusal on item 2. Is there any further discussion of that motion? Hearing none, all in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed, say no. The consent agenda is approved. We will now move to our 3 noticed items. Our first noticed item is a proposed final order in a set of consolidated dockets regarding these are all penalties related to Ace Energy LLC. So I'm not going to run through all the docket numbers and all of the descriptions, but instead I will just turn to our presenter, Mr. Jonathan Myers, to describe the order.
Good morning, Chair French. Good morning, Commissioners. The order before you affirms the penalty orders in the 4 consolidated dockets and denies operators license renewal application submitted in November of 2022. With that, I am available for any questions.
Thank you, John. Are there any questions on this item? I will begin with Commissioner Keither.
I don't have any questions, but just to say that the synopsis of that, John, was quite concise, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate your work. That was quite concise and good. Thank you.
And Commissioner Keene.
I would add slightly to what Commissioner Keither just said. I think the order is pretty exhaustive in the way it reviews the evidence before us and why and how we reached the conclusions we did. And I think in that regard, the order certainly does speak for itself. Having said that, I would move approval of the consent. I think we're beyond that. I would move approval of this order. Thank you.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the order as described by Mr. Myers. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed, say no. The order is approved. And I think, John, we're sticking with you here for a minute. Our next item is an order on reconsideration in docket number 23 CONS 3080 CUIC. And as I said, again, our presenter is Mr. John Myers.
Yes, Commissioners, the order before you affirms your prior decision to grant operators application, but adds additional requirements regarding construction, treatment, and testing. Of particular interest to the parties, the order requires conventional pressure testing at the well on a 5-year cycle. With that, I'm available for any questions.
All right, thank you, Mr. Myers. Are there any questions on this item, beginning in it again with Commissioner Keither?
No.
And Commissioner Keene.
No questions, but I would have a comment, Chair French. This docket involves a number of technical issues surrounding the operator's request for a duly completed well. As a result of a request for reconsideration of the first commission order in this docket, we held a second evidentiary hearing. In sum, this order grants the dual completion in accordance with commission regulations. These completions are provided for in commission regulations. However, the order does make the grant of the approval of this dual completion subject to several conditions. I'm not going to repeat here the specifics of the nature of these conditions. They are well covered within the order itself. However, I would note that the order does resolve one outstanding condition, and that is how, beyond the initial pressure test, subsequent casing integrity tests are to be performed. In essence, the question for us sort of came down to whether or not casing pressure testing would be required within certain intervals usually for injection wells under our regs, it's for 5-year intervals, or whether there would be alternative methods that we would provide for testing the integrity of the casing. What this order does to me is that it balances the request by the operator for a dual completed well with the totality of environmental considerations that I think are preeminent in any determination we make with respect to any matters that we might approve, certainly applications for injection. I think we have pretty well exhaustively reviewed the record in this matter. And as a result of that, we had reached the conclusion that for given the circumstances in hand, that it would be best if we required in subsequent years that there be conventional casing pressure testing to assure the integrity of the casing and to provide the greatest measure that we could of environmental protection prospectively. Having said that, I would move approval of the order.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the order as described in this docket. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed, say no. The order is approved. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
We now turn to docket number 24 TRAM 569 PEN in the matter of the investigation of Omar Trucking LLC of Lenexa, Kansas regarding the violation of motor carrier safety statutes, rules, and regulations, and the Commission's authority to impose penalties, sanctions, and/or the revocation of motor carrier authority. And this is a proposed penalty order in that docket. Our presenter on this item is Mr. Hassan Latif. Good morning, Hassan.
Good morning, Commissioners. The penalty order before you arises out of compliance review of Omar Trucking LLC, a common carrier which hauls general freight operating out of Lenexa, Kansas. This investigation was conducted by a special investigator, Matt Adams. And the special investigator found 66 violations, and the order before you assesses penalties for 7 specific counts, resulting in $8,300 in total penalties. The violations I'll briefly summarize them. A $650 fine for permitting drivers to operate commercial motor vehicles prior to obtaining a negative pre-employment controlled substance test. A $650 fine for failing to require drivers to submit to a post-accident test for alcohol and controlled substances. A $5,000 fine for making a false report regarding duty status by logging off duty yet continuing to drive. There were 32 such violations of this rule that were found. And a $750 fine for failing to register with the FMCSA Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse. Additionally, there were 2 violations for exceeding driver hour limits. Staff believes the order appropriately assesses penalties against the carrier and recommends approval of the order. Both I and staff are available to stand for questions.
All right, thank you, Hassan. I will ask at this time if there are any questions, and I will begin with Commissioner Keither
No, not this time.
and Commissioner Keen.
Thank you, Chair French. No questions. A very brief comment here. Once again, I think it's reflected. Thank you for the overview, Hassan. It was very thorough. I want to commend our field investigator, Matt Adams. I think this level of detail in this order reflects a level of conscientious adherence to pretty high safety standards, and that's what we're about. So, having said that, I would move approval of the order.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the order as described in this docket. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. The order is approved. Thank you, Hassan.
Thank you.
All right, we have concluded all of our noticed orders for approval, but now we move to our last noticed item, and this is a discussion item of this is going to be gas utility presentations to the Commission on energy efficiency programs in other states. And we will have presentations from Kansas Gas Service, Atmos Energy, and Black Hills Energy. I have a very brief outline in front of me, and all I know is I think we've got Kansas Gas Service up first, and we will have, I understand, Lindsay Freeman, Manager of Community Relations, and Jasmine King Bush, Manager of Energy Efficiency Programs, presenting for Kansas Gas Service. If I've got anything wrong there, let me know. Otherwise, I will let KGS just take it away.
Wonderful. Thank you. Jasmine, do you have our presentation?
I believe the commission IT team has it. If you could navigate to the opening slide.
Yes, I'm pulling it up now.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, commissioners and staff. My name is Lindsay Freeman, and I am the State Manager of Community Relations for Kansas Gas Service. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with all of you today. Our team of community relations managers are strategically positioned all across Kansas within our service footprint. Our primary focus is on cultivating and nurturing positive relationships with our key stakeholders, such as government officials, business leaders, and community agencies in the areas that we serve. We act as liaisons between various departments within Kansas Gas Service and the cities we operate in, and our team plays a vital role in fostering collaboration and understanding. In addition to our relational efforts, we are committed to educating the public about the safety, the affordability, and reliability of natural gas. Next slide, please. Our parent company, One Gas, is a fully regulated natural gas utility, and we extend our services to more than 2.2 million customers across Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. We have approximately 3,800 employees and an extensive network of over 44,000 miles of distribution mains, services, and transmission pipelines. We remain steadfast in our mission to deliver natural gas safely and reliably. Next slide, please. Kansas Gas Service is proud to serve over 645,000 customers spanning over 360 Kansas communities. One Gas is headquartered in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but our roots in Kansas run deep, with a century-long legacy of supplying natural gas to communities throughout our state. We have over 13,000 miles of distribution and transmission pipeline infrastructure, including our key transmission lines that traverse from the northeast portion of the state to the southwest portion of the state. And we are equipped to meet energy needs of communities all along our system. Our workforce in Kansas of nearly 1,000 dedicated professionals ensures the delivery of natural gas across our state, and truly is a fact I am always proud to highlight. Their exceptional efforts, particularly during challenging events like Winter Storm Uri, Winter Storm Jerry, and they really truly underscore our commitment to reliability and our service excellence. In Oklahoma, our footprint serves about 913,000 customers and nearly 2,000 jobs are provided. We have over 2,000 miles of pipeline across the state. And in Texas, which is the next slide, we serve just over 695,000 customers. We have about 1,000 employees in Texas and 11,000 miles of pipeline. Now I'd like to introduce our Manager of Energy Efficiency Programs, who's here with me today, Jasmine King-Bush. Jasmine will share more about our energy efficiency efforts in our other states. Jasmine?
Good morning, and thank you again, commissioners, for your time. One Gas has been providing the communities we serve across Oklahoma and in the qualifying areas of Texas with natural gas programs for over 23 years. While the program first launched in 2001 in the Central Texas area, comprised of Austin and surrounding areas, it was soon followed by a statewide program launched in Oklahoma in 2011, and then a program serving about 34,000 customers in the Rio Grande Valley was introduced in 2016. Next slide, please. The goal of the Energy Efficiency Program is to provide education and assistance to customers and communities on the benefits of conserving energy, which include reduced energy consumption, lower energy bills, and realized water savings. We work closely with EM&V consultants to offer rebates and incentives to areas specific in the various programs to support this effort, in addition to engaging with customers via in-person outreach events. Next slide, please. Given the size of the Oklahoma program and the proximity to Kansas, I'm sharing an overview of the program budget, costing, and offerings for your review. In 2023, Oklahoma Natural Gas Energy Efficiency distributed just over $7 million in residential rebates and incentives. This includes approximately $1 million in low-income weatherization assistance, which I am proud to say we offer in partnership with local utilities as a collaborative effort. We offered $2.6 million in incentives to builders to install high-efficiency natural gas appliances and technology, and $2.5 million for commercial customers. And we do this through a strategic energy management program where we provide consultants to our commercial customers, and they really receive a tailored approach to how they can utilize their natural gas systems more efficiently and thereby saving dollars. We do it through direct install, and these are components that are mailed directly to small business owners for self-install that also help them realize the benefits of conservation in their bills. And then we also have a custom commercial program. And this is where we have a prescriptive approach to reducing bills, conserving energy, and then providing energy use education to the commercial customers. We also have additional funds allocated to evaluation, measurement, and valuation, research and development, customer education, awareness, and engagement. We have administrative costs that are covered by the program, as well as compressed natural gas rebates. Next slide, please. An aspect of the program that is specific to Oklahoma is the multifamily program. The market development and commercial project teams work closely with builders and developers of multifamily projects to encourage the installation of efficient natural gas technologies in their projects, increasing the power for energy conservation of their communities and delivering safe, reliable, and cost-effective appliances to their residents or buyers. In this graphic, I just want to explain a bit. There's a rebate available to the developer and builder for participation in the program, and then there are also rebates and incentives available for the installation of those technologies. And so the two figures there are totaled in the last square to your right. Next slide, please. Through the program, water saving kits are offered to customers by request, which allow them to self-install measures which will help reduce the usage of natural gas energy and water. The savings quoted here are based on 2022 City of Tulsa water savings on average for a family. We're currently looking to expand our program to include weatherization kit offerings as well. This is something that Kansas has been engaged in, and Lindsay can tell us more about that. Next slide, please.
Thanks, Jasmine. We're actually going to go back one slide. I apologize. They were a little bit out of order, but I'd like to share an initiative that is close to our hearts, and that is the weatherization kits that Kansas Gas Service has begun distributing since 2021. To date, we have distributed just a little over 3,300 kits, helping to recognize the significant benefits of weatherizing homes to reduce energy costs, enhance comfort. Our kits are designed to address air leaks, and they offer tangible solutions for residents. Given the high demand for these kits and a very limited number available each year, my team prioritizes partnerships with organizations that can help us reach those most in need within the communities we serve. The cost associated with our weatherization kit effort is not included in our rates, and I'm certainly happy to answer any questions about the work my team does or the weatherization kits that we provide.
And I think we can advance one more slide. Perfect. The programs that we offer within the states of Texas and Oklahoma provide an annual reporting to our regulators and stakeholders for the previous calendar year. Internal leadership also receives a copy of those reports, as well as the general public via posting to the program websites. Included in the presentation today are just a few of the highlights that we're most proud to speak to for the Oklahoma Energy Efficiency Program in 2022. 2023 annual reporting compilation is currently underway, and so I apologize, but 2022 data is available for review. And if I may call out just a few of the highlights. In 2022, the program saved a projected 15.3 million in gallons of water, savings of about 538,000 MMBTUs in energy, and about 72,000 pounds of annual CO2 emission reduction. This is all accomplished through about 66,000 rebates. And we're very proud to share these numbers. It shows our commitment to providing value through the program, as well as education and putting the power for conservation in our customers' hands. Next slide, please. The success of the energy efficiency program is made possible by cross-functional work internally and via external collaborations as well. And I have just listed a few, some of it, a little more than a few, some of the partnerships internally and externally that make the program what it is. We are very proud to say that we partner with other utilities in our areas, builders, developers, community and nonprofit agencies, local governments, industry organizations. We have memberships in quite a few professional organizations, and then also publications and media outlets. Next slide, please. I'd like to thank you for your attention and your time today, and I'm hoping that we can answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
All right. Well, anybody that has questions, I should have mentioned at the beginning that people could feel free to raise their hands on the participant panel. I haven't seen any hands up. Maybe I'll start us off with a couple quick questions, and then we'll see if there's anything else. Just to drill down into your budgets and overall impact, I know you had you were talking about the Oklahoma programs on, let's see, slide 8.
Yes, sir.
You had sort of a breakout of dollars. If I added up those millions of dollars, is that the overall program budget, or could you just quickly tell me the overall program budget in Oklahoma?
Yes, it's just over 17 million, about 17 and a half.
Okay.
And what I did not break out were the costs and the additional funds portion of the presentation.
Okay. And the other question I had was slide 12, you gave the energy savings in MMBTU, and it was looked like 538,000 plus MMBTU. What's sort of the overall total throughput of, I guess it'd be residential and commercial customers on the Oklahoma system? I mean, if we were to put this in a percentage perspective of savings, is it a 0.5%? You know, what are we looking at as far as total system savings?
I would have to look into that because all of our program participants are not, they do not represent the whole of Oklahoma subscribers. So we work very diligently to get the word out and make people aware of them, but we don't have a full, we have 100% subscription rate to the program, but we don't have 100% participation across the customers.
Sure. I see Mr. Justin Grady, Deputy Director of Utilities here at the KCC, has his hand up. Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, thanks. Good morning, everybody. I think it was Jasmine that mentioned that either on the weatherization kits or the water saving kits that the cost of those kits is not included in your rates, and I just thought I would ask for some more detail on that.
Lindsay, would you like to speak to that? That's the weatherization.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, I'm happy to, Mr. Grady. So if we do not ask for cost recovery, it ultimately comes from shareholder funds. And that's how we're primarily funding this program at this point.
Okay. And just so I understand, is that currently only occurring in Oklahoma, or it's occurring throughout the service territories?
The weatherization kits are only in Kansas right now. The water kits, I believe, are they in Oklahoma and Texas? Jasmine?
Oklahoma and Texas, yes. But we've seen the success and the demand for the weatherization kits in Kansas, and we are actively looking for vendors to fulfill that and introduce that in Oklahoma and Texas as well.
Okay, thank you. I don't have anything further right now. Thanks, Chairman.
Thanks, Justin. I'm not seeing any other hands, but let me, oh, here we go. Commissioner Keene.
Yes, very, very good. Thank you both very much for this presentation. We really do appreciate your taking the time to do this, as well as the other two jurisdictional gas utilities. I'm going to ask you a Fifth Amendment type question, so I'll preface it that way. If you care to take the fifth, you can. The question is this, in essence. The United States Environmental Protection Agency has embarked upon energy efficiency efforts that have focused on several home appliances that utilize natural gas. Many of these energy efficiency measures, at least according to what I've read in the press, are anticipated to increase, in some cases significantly increase, the cost of these appliances to consumers. So my question to you is this: in your opinion, do these anticipated benefits outweigh the cost?
I will not plead the fifth.
Okay, thank you.
I'm aware of the proposed changes that you speak of, and myself and a colleague, Tracy Rhodes, who is in our public advocacy department, work really, really closely with the American Gas Association and the Southern Gas Association to research the justification and support offered by the EPA and Energy Star for these increases. I would like to say that I am not sure that the full effect of the cost of the proposed increase to efficiency ratings has been considered for the greater population. And so to that end, Tracy and I provide comments and feedback to Department of Energy and to EPA to create awareness supported by program data that we can provide for Oklahoma and Texas. We would like to see a more incremental approach, allowing families the time to afford such upgrades. I think also it will allow time for them to become aware of the Inflation Reduction Act and BIL funds that are available in the various states and what the state plans will be. We're also working with the state energy offices very closely to consult them on our program's performance and provide data and metrics as they need it, as they make a decision. But we do work really closely with AGA and SGA to provide feedback to create awareness of the full financial impact.
That's a great answer, and it's a very granular one, Jasmine. I thank you so much for your candor in doing that as well. And I want to thank you also for providing what is kind of firsthand information and knowledge that you're going to have by virtue of being a gas distribution utility back to the AGA and back to the other powers to be here in terms of both the timeline and the cost. I think what you're doing is very helpful. I thank you for doing that as well. Thank you very much for your answer.
All right. Commissioner Keither, I saw you come on camera. Do you have a question?
Actually, I would, Commissioner Keen really went into the area that I was thinking about, because I think that's on everybody's mind with the federal guidelines. So not all done.
All right. Very good. I don't see any more hands. Again, I'm going to pause for just a second. But not seeing any more, we do thank you, Jasmine and Lindsay, for your presentation, and we will be in touch, I'm sure. With that, we will turn to Atmos Energy. And for Atmos, we have Aaron Bishop, Manager of Public Affairs in the Colorado-Kansas Division, and Israel Jaramillo, Marketing Manager from the Colorado-Kansas Division. Aaron and Israel, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, thanks so much, Chair French and Commissioner Keen, Commissioner Keither. We're looking forward to the opportunity to speaking with you a little bit today about energy efficiency programs in some of our other states, as we currently don't have one in operation here in the state of Kansas. But if you'll go to the first slide there, I'm talking enough to try and stall to the point where we can get it. And
looks like we've got it.
There. Yeah. So second slide, we'll kind of indicate some of our footprint nationwide. And real quick, I just kind of want to showcase We have Israel Jaramillo, who's a manager of marketing out of our Denver office. So that's on the Colorado side of our division. And then we also have Shelly Bass on the call today, and she is our Associate General Counsel out of Dallas. And I real quick want to point out the tremendous support that we here in Kansas have from both our division office and then also our enterprise office down in Dallas. Kansas really is one of 8 states that Atmos Energy serves. We have an 8-state footprint that serves just over 3 million customers in about 1,400 communities. As you can see there, we own and operate about 79,000 miles of natural gas pipeline in those 8 states. And then just like we build those relationships with those 1,400 communities, we also have 8 different regulatory environments that we operate in. And this allows us tremendous opportunity to learn from those other states and to really share information, such as you'll see a little bit later as Israel presents what we have going on as far as energy efficiency is concerned in the state of Colorado. So as I mentioned, we are just a part of a larger company serving 8 states. And then the next slide will dive a little bit deeper into Kansas specifically. So you can see there, I've been giving this slide in particular for about 7 or 8 years now, and that number of customers has continually grown as I've given this presentation. As of today, we serve a little over 140,000 customers and growing. We've got a lot of great growth here in the Kansas City metro area and other areas that we serve. But we really serve 106 communities. So of those 140,000 customers, we have about a little over 110,000 customers are in about 10 to 12 communities here, sort of bordering the Kansas City metro area. The rest of those are very much some of the small towns and smaller cities in the state of Kansas, which we always sort of put a feather in our cap because we love being known as a small town gas company here in the state of Kansas. Within those 106 communities, we have a little over 4,000 miles of natural gas pipeline, and then 173 employees in various offices across the division or across our state. So we go as far west as Johnson City. We have a small service center in Ness City, down in Anthony, Harrington, which serves both Harrington and Council Grove area. And then we get into Montgomery County. We have a service center in Independence. And then we also serve Coffeyville, kind of in the Chautauqua County. We're all over the state, but I'm officed here in Olathe. And like I said, we serve all of Olathe, but we get up into parts of Lenexa, Overland Park, Shawnee, and then jump across the river, Bonner Springs, KCK. Like I said, we're very proud of the small towns and all of our service area in the state of Kansas. So we have 173 employees that live and work in the communities that we serve, that they give back through Little League coaches, that they're involved in their churches and their faith communities, and really volunteer hours are part of what how we operate. I'm not real sure if the interference is on my end or.
I think we got it. I think they found it.
Okay. All right. It's gone away. So we should be good. And those employees certainly spend a lot of time giving back to their community. But then they also help as we work on pipe replacement projects in the state. Here in Kansas, we're fortunate to have both GSRS and our SIP projects that really work to, we work with the commission to identify and replace much of our aging infrastructure here in the state. And I look forward to continue doing that. I'll jump over there to that charitable giving number. And this is one that as public affairs manager here in the state, I have a little bit more touch point on. And I want to highlight that real quick because we give back to our communities. We certainly see the need in our communities and love being a part of each of the 106 communities that we serve. We operate our charitable giving through a program called Fueling Safe and Thriving Communities. which really gives us the opportunity to focus on kids. We focus on childhood nutrition. We focus on childhood literacy. You may see pictures of some of our book vending machines in Boys and Girls Club in Olathe, and then soon to be in Coffeyville. And then we certainly focus on our neighbors. And I want to take a brief moment to brag on our energy assistance team out of Dallas. We rely on them to help in times of greater need in Kansas. When we get hit with winter storms like Uri and Elliott and the most recent one, we reciprocate that by turning around and providing billing assistance for many of our customers. So a good portion of that charitable giving is through our investment in energy efficiency programs. And then I will also use that as we work to provide affordable energy and billing assistance to our 140,000 plus customers. We have recognized that there's a great opportunity when it comes to energy efficiency, because providing that affordable energy to our customers goes so far, but we certainly want to begin encouraging our customers to conserve that energy, and we think that there's some tremendous cost savings as well as an environmental stewardship aspect to energy efficiency. And with that, Israel's going to walk us through our Colorado program, starting on the next slide.
Okay. Can you go either back one or forward one? Because that doesn't look like the slide that I was starting on. Let's maybe move forward one if you can. Apologize for that. Okay, we'll go ahead and go back. We'll start there. But you know, I'll kind of, the slide that I'm presenting kind of is not shown, but I can speak to it, so it's not that big of a deal there. Thanks, Aaron, for the introduction to Atmos, and thank you, commissioners, for the time today on the call for us to speak about our Colorado energy efficiency program. I'm the marketing manager for Colorado and Kansas. My duties are on the growth side as well as the day-to-day custodian of our demand side management program. We at Atmos feel that this program gives us the opportunity to connect with our customers in different ways. You know, we create positive touch points with our customers through education, economic benefits, and energy savings. Also in our communities, the connections we administer with these programs, serving not only our customers, but the businesses serving our customers as well. We improve our relationships not only with our customers, but the contractors and stakeholders who provide these energy efficiency services, trainings, and education to our customers. All this is being done across our Colorado footprint. So now onto the slide that we're currently looking at here, energy efficiency. You know, we see it kind of as three different concepts here. As the energy efficiency, measures that produce the same or better levels of our energy services using less energy. So these programs are usually long-lasting. They save energy on equipment that's in operation, and they can also produce significant reductions in peak demand. The second is energy conservation, saving energy or reducing demand by reducing the level of energy services, like setting thermostats lower in the winter or at night, taking shorter showers, and turning down the water heater. As well is energy program awareness. You know, we increase the awareness of the available energy efficiency programs and opportunities through programs like our home energy reports and our home energy kits that I'll speak to a little bit down in our presentation. We can move to the next slide here. As you can see here, I'm speaking to our Colorado program, but we do have programs in 4 of our states across our enterprise here. As you can see, the budgets vary, as well as in offerings of what that budget carries. Across our enterprise, we have Texas or Mid-Tex, Colorado, Kentucky, and Mississippi. You can go move on to the next one here. Kind of like how Jasmine had stated, you know, she talked about the 2022 results. We're in the same boat as we're still gathering and compiling our annual summary for our fiscal year 2023. But there's a few numbers here on this specific slide that I kind of wanted to touch. We've had our demand side management program in Atmos for about 15 years now. As you can see, it was mandated by the Colorado House bill in 2007. The DS program is customer funded through line items on our customer bill, on all classes: residential, commercial, industrial. And in our in the box there, we do have some of our highlights for the fiscal year 22 that you can see. Participation, we looks like we came close to hitting our goal, 43,000, which is number of customers. Natural gas savings, this is presented in terms, which is 416,621. And I'll go ahead and preface that from a question I heard on the last presentation, is I am not exactly sure what that is compared to our annual residential kind of use to our, but if that's something that we'd want, I could probably track that number down for you folks. And the budget of just over $1 million as we continue to see our budget continue to grow as we invest more in our demand side management program. And then along in our annual report, we do have certain metrics like therms per dollar and our total resource costs, which is our TRC there. We can go ahead and move on to the next slide here. Here's kind of the meat and potatoes, if you will, of kind of our program, our energy efficiency or demand side management programs. It's broken down into 5 different programs in our portfolio, and these are efficient natural gas rebate programs, income qualified program, energy efficiency kits, our custom energy efficiency program, and our home energy reports. Throughout the next slides, I'll be talking about each individually with a little bit more detail. As you can see on the bottom there, we do kind of have our spending, our planned savings, and our participation rates in each as they're color coded there. Thank you. First, we have our energy efficiency natural gas rebate program. This program provides prescriptive rebates for a range of high efficiency natural gas heating, domestic water heating, appliances, and systems, as well as weatherization applications. These rebates are for current customers upgrading their appliances and their or systems to higher efficiency products, and that directly save on the energy delivered. Some examples of these, we're okay, but some examples of these prescriptive rebates are for furnaces, boilers, hot water heaters, insulation, and they vary in amounts, and the amounts are definitely stated when advertised. We can move on to our income qualified. So this program promotes energy efficiency to our existing income qualified customers and also agencies offering assistance to low income customers. Administered by the Energy Outreach Colorado group here in Colorado. We focus on two areas, I guess we'll say. One is the income qualified for single family and mobile homes. And the second one is multifamily facilities and nonprofit agencies serving low-income customers. Both components provide energy education, on-site energy audits, direct install of low-cost natural gas water heating, and weatherization measures. And again, as I stated kind of earlier, all these programs are kind of based in our Colorado footprint, serving our Colorado customers. On to our next one, our energy efficiency kits. This program is comprised of energy efficiency kits that promote installation of low-cost energy efficiency measures and are also used for energy efficiency education to our existing residential customers. This program features 2 kits, as you can see there. We have mail kits offered to our online marketplace, which is free for our customers. and energy education kits for schools with class activities to promote conservation and energy efficiency in the home. Some of the items in these kits are low-cost measures such as self-adhesive weather strips, window insulation film, shower head and faucet aerators, and pipe seal tape, etc. We can move on to our custom program. And you know, you kind of look at our custom program, these last two that we're going to hit here, they're kind of the bigger pieces of our savings for our customers here. So our custom program is for commercial and large industrial customers. That these projects can be larger in scope, and the complexity could be with unique equipment and or applications. This program provides the customers with energy education as well as walkthrough audits and, if necessary, more in-depth technical studies. Based on the activities mentioned above, Atmos Energy works with the customers and provides recommendations on equipment and packages that would help them save on their energy usage. And then as the customer decides to put these practices or these decisions into place, this could result in incentives and savings on the incremental costs of those chosen upgrades for their buildings. This is, as it says, customer type there, commercial, industrial, other. These are kind of our larger customers, and they could be new customers. They could also be existing buildings that are going through renovations. Mainly in Colorado, what we've seen for this particular program is hospitals, schools, municipal buildings, recreation centers, those type of buildings that are usually larger in space. They also have a section for homes that are, I believe, over 6,000 square feet that could actually benefit from our custom program as well. Our next here is our home energy report. Definitely last but not least, it's the largest program offered and our most participated in the program in our portfolio, offering the most savings of our natural gas and our DSM program there. The home energy reports, these are printed and emailed throughout the year and are comprised of a treatment group, which is basically a third of our customers, and a control group, which is another third. And then we have a third that's not enrolled or in the control as they cycle through. This is a behavioral-based efficiency program. It's designed to provide our customers with personalized information regarding their natural gas usage. It's a comparative tool with their energy use to similar homes that are in a determined radius in our footprint, and as well as their kind of statistics. It also gives them tips to save energy, as well as opportunities to create, opportunities to participate in our other rebate programs. And I think the next slide is a few kind of examples of this particular home energy report. Go ahead and click it one more time. There we go. As you can see, this is kind of an example of what goes out to our customers here. It shows what the efficient homes are using, what the customer is using, as well as what similar homes in their area are using. All this, shows them their usage. It also shows them historical usage, as well as gives them personalized tips for their home. Like this one has rebates on insulation, and if they go to our Smart Choice, it's a hyperlink, normally, or if this is a printed version, they can go to that energy Smart Choice at Atmos Energy, and they can look at what rebates we have offered to them and that they may qualify for as well. If you want to go to the next slide here, again, this offers us a touch point, as we kind of spoke about earlier. We have a welcome report, so customers that may be leaving the treatment group, coming into this treatment group, they have a welcome report. We give them their progress report. They also have specific promotional and seasonal reports And then at the end of the year, they'll have an annual report kind of their usage over the year, what months, the seasons, they use the most energy, obviously during the winter months here at Atmos Energy. But this is the big driver, as it's behavioral based, and these are the lasting results that we see from driving behaviors in our energy efficiency program. And I believe our next slide is just kind of a wrap up there of the specific programs. As you've seen some of these before, kind of the planned spending, planned savings, as well as the participation rates. I believe that's all we have for you folks today.
And before we take questions, I'd like to add a little more color, just generally how we approach energy efficiency at Atmos Energy, and information that we would have for the commission that may be helpful to you. I don't know if you could possibly go back. We don't have these numbered, but the slide that says energy efficiency programs and has the total spend on budget to date and shows the various states. Can you find that one?
I think it was towards the beginning. Yep.
Yes, it was the second slide that Israel talked about.
Like fourth slide in.
Yeah, after that one, just after this one. This
There
one.
we go.
Okay, you see the states in which we have energy efficiency programs. And, we chose to present today in detail on the Colorado program because we combined Kansas and Colorado into one division. It's the closest in proximity, and it is the one that this division has the most, obviously, experience with. However, we do have programs in other states. Louisiana is not on here because the program in Louisiana is very new, but it's modeled after the Mississippi program. And I just wanted to let you know that we do have data, significant amounts of data from these programs. Mississippi is probably our most robust. It started in 2014. And I believe the demographics of that program may be more similar to our demographics in Kansas, very rural, not a mountain region. Different guidance from the rules that may be more similar to, Colorado. The way that program is administered has a lot to do with the state of Colorado and the goals of that state and the guidance that we get from the legislature and the commission in that state. So I just want to make sure that we get you any information you'd like to see about how we do things in Mississippi. I always, in any of our states, but it's just that we have many years of annual reporting data and how we've tried to administer those programs, how we've tried to reach the low income population. It's not always easy to reach that population. We put the offerings out there, but sometimes it's difficult to find customers that want to participate. There's sometimes a trust issue, a lack of education issue. And so we've worked very hard in that jurisdiction to reach that population. Sometimes our regulators have questions about targeting programs towards low income and whether that is, subsidization and whether it's in the public interest to do that. And we work through that in particularly in that state, and made sure that we're showing benefits to the communities we serve through those programs and that they're properly balanced. I wanted to bring that up, and I also wanted to bring up the fact that we use third-party administrators as our partners to administer these programs. And sometimes that's a question that regulators have because they'll see administrative costs and it will look very high, but the reason we do that is because these people we work with Clear Results in Mississippi and Louisiana, and we work with Apex Analytics in Colorado, and we work with Frontier in the Mid-Tex division. And those third-party administrators are experts at this. They know how to market these, they know how to reach our customers, they know how to make these programs cost-effective, and we have had great success in our participation rates and just administering these programs efficiently and effectively through the use of those third-party administrators. And so if you have questions about that and what they do and why we value their services, Some utilities have in-house abilities and to administer the programs, like Xcel Energy. Many combo utilities, there's because of what they need on the electric side will do that, but we have found that it's most effective for us and most cost effective to use a third-party expert to do that for us. And what else was I going to say? Oh, you probably know about our Zero Net Energy homes, and we are doing this. That is not part of our energy efficiency programs, but we have piloted building Zero Net Energy homes with dual fuel, as many natural gas appliances that are efficient and effective as we can incorporate into those homes. And we work with Habitat for Humanity to do that. Aaron Bishop knows a lot about that and can get you more information on that. But we'll be getting data on how effective and cost effective that is to target that through that. And then there was one other thing. Commissioner Keen had asked about the Energy Star program, and I just wanted to let you know that Atmos Energy, like One Gas, regularly participates in all proceedings at the federal level that may affect our customers. And we have filed comments in every docket that has been opened by the EPA to consider changes to the programs, and we can provide you copies of our comments and how we believe that the Energy Star program helps our customers to identify it. Now, it is not a requirement that an appliance be Energy Star to qualify for rebates necessarily, but it is a helpful proxy for our customers to be able to walk into a retail store that's got an Energy Star label on it. I can probably get a rebate from my utility on that. And so we have encouraged the EPA, and all of our programs, we do a cost-effective analysis. And so the efficiency ratings that are lower than what the EPA is proposing, they're not only more affordable for our customers, but they are also providing cost-effective. They meet all the cost-effectiveness tests in a way that the higher appliances may not. So we want them to continue, especially in our states that have a considerable low-income population. They are pricing out our customers, even with the rebates, from being able to purchase those appliances and achieve real savings right now. It has been shown to be the most economic way to reduce emissions and achieve savings, and reduce usage of any of the measures available to the natural gas industry and the energy industry in general. So we want to continue to engage in those. We've also engaged in the building codes, as has One Gas, at the ICC to file comments and actually participate in appealing some of the changes that have been made to model energy codes there, because we believe that it was not in the best interest of our customers and communities through affordability and things like that. And then also at the DOE, the minimum efficiency standards for natural gas appliances, we have comments there. So if you want to see any of that, we can get that to you. And we're just really looking forward to continuing this discussion with you, because we're very passionate about how to balance reliability and affordability, and with safety being our top priority for our customers in Kansas. And so this is really exciting.
All right.
All right, I'll shut up now.
Oh, no, that's great. That's a lot of additional information. You I think you probably preempted most of our questions. So that's great. And we're getting a little short on time, but I do want to pause to see if there are any questions for the Atmos folks. Commissioner Keen?
Yeah. Well, with all due respects, I have two questions. One's a two-parter. The first one's a two-parter, fairly straightforward. Why is there no Atmos energy efficiency program in Kansas? And how is energy efficiency in Colorado, Mississippi, or Louisiana germane to Kansas?
Well, there's not one in Kansas because of just guidance. What we've seen, we're following the dockets of the commission. We're ready to propose one, and we have just tried to respond to our regulators and the messages that we've gotten on whether it's appealing to you to have one. We are ready and willing and able to offer one. The only reason that we're providing information on these other programs is to give you a menu of what has worked and hasn't worked in the past, so you can see data on whether they're cost effective, how customers have responded to them, because that is one piece of information that can be helpful when you decide how you want to design natural gas energy efficiency programs in your states, how they've been received and how they have functioned in other states. But you do not have to. You can certainly design guidance and approve programs that are important to you and unique to Kansas. We participated in the electric utilities energy efficiency docket and following that closely. And so we plan to use the commission's guidance and what happened in that docket to guide what we file in the near future for approval before you.
Okay. My second question I'll address to you, Aaron, if I can. You discussed and you showed us the service area in Kansas for Atmos. I note that you have a substantial area that covers southeast Kansas, in addition to what I would just generically refer to as the Johnson County area. Now, if I'm correct, I think both of those service areas were formerly Union Gas, were they not?
I believe so. Yeah, we've kind of knit together United Cities, Union Gas, and then the old Greeley gas system in our state. So we are a conglomeration of 3 different gas utilities. But yes, that's correct.
Okay, so my question is this, in essence, what sorts of legacy issues are you addressing that have arisen from the properties that Atmos acquired from Union Gas? Because I know some of these they had some age.
Correct. Yeah. And we continue to work with commission staff on prioritizing some of our replacement projects and ensuring that those aging infrastructure, or that aging infrastructure, is addressed in a timely manner. So we continue to work and prioritize those. I will defer to our engineering team on a lot of those projects and where some of that consideration lies. But yeah, we're well aware of some of those legacy issues, and that's why we are thankful to programs like GSRS and SIP that address those issues.
All right, thank you. No more questions. No further questions from me. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Keen. I'm not seeing any additional hands going up. So Shelley, Israel, Aaron, thank you so much for the presentation. And we will move to, let me get my outline up here. For Black Hills, it looks like we have James Williams, Senior Program Manager in Community Relations, and Jessica Oliveto, Manager of Energy Efficiency. And Sean, if you've got the Black Hills presentation, you could go ahead and pull that up now. And James and Jessica, I'll turn it over to you.
Great, thank you so much. I just wanted to point out that there is a thunderstorm rolling through the area. So James might have a little bit of connection issues, but in case he drops off, just a heads up that
Same here. I just got thunder outside
they're
my
experiencing that. Okay. But my name is Jessica Oliveto, and I am the Energy Efficiency Strategic Manager at Black Hills Energy. I am located at our corporate office in Rapid City, South Dakota, and we are right in the heart of the Black Hills. I oversee a very talented and dedicated team across 5 states. And as you can see from this slide, we have extensive demand side management experience as we implement programs across multiple utilities within our footprint. We understand how important it is to provide excellent customer service while remaining faithful to the environmental stewardship and reducing costs to our customers. So we can go ahead and take a look at the next slide. Here you can get a visual of our energy impacts across these 8 states with demand side management programs in Arkansas, Iowa, South Dakota, Wyoming, and Colorado. At Black Hills Energy, we are ready to provide reliable resources to the heartland of the United States, and more specifically to Kansas. I'm going to turn it over to our local expert, James Williams, to give you an overview of our community involvement in your great state.
Thanks, Jessica. If we could advance to the next slide. As was said earlier, I'm Senior Community Affairs Manager for Black Hills Energy and oversee our external outreach with our customers, media outlets, local elected officials, and key community partners in Kansas, where we proudly serve more than 118,000 customers with safe and reliable natural gas. We serve 67 diverse communities ranging from Liberal to Lawrence, who have a very different expectations from their natural gas utility. They want energy that's affordable. They want energy that's reliable. And a growing segment of our customers are looking to the utility providers to help them lower their carbon footprint. And energy efficiency presents an interesting way to help make these things possible. If we could go to the next slide, please. The success of Black Hills Energy is directly tied to the success of our communities. And that's why we're so proud to share we provided a $57 million direct economic impact to the state. It includes more than $500,000 to charitable giving. And on the next slide, you'll see that we provided more than $150,000 in energy assistance to 235 families. It's a number we expect to grow significantly in 2023. Next slide, please. Keeping energy affordable is a consistent theme among my many community stakeholders in Kansas. And that's why energy efficiency is a consistent key message in almost everything we share. For example, when United Way saw a trend in requests for utility assistance, we worked with community partners last September to educate them on how simple steps like lowering a hot water heater's temperature can save up to 10% on heating costs. In October, which is National Energy Awareness Month, we launched our Winter Ready campaign that included tactics like asking chambers across the state to share energy efficiency tips. In November, we worked with communities across our footprint to identify what kind of energy efficiency programs they'd like to see in their communities. In December, we helped roll out the state's low-income energy assistance program that helped hundreds of people lower their utility bill. And in January, when our communities faced the threat of Arctic weather, we proactively initiated our incident response team to share in advance of that storm how energy efficiency projects now could save money later. To my stakeholders in Kansas, it's clear they want an energy efficiency program. So on behalf of the diverse communities we serve and advocate for, we certainly appreciate your time today. And I'll happily turn it back over to Jessica for more on the ways we handle energy efficiency in neighboring states.
Thank you, James. Customers trust Black Hills Energy as a natural gas partner in the energy efficiency landscape. So we are doing the market research to put customers on the fast track to get energy efficiency measures implemented into their homes and businesses, reducing their consumption and lowering their utility bills. We review new and existing products to offer therm savings, as well as create customer comfort and improve environmental impacts. Next slide, please. We strive to design energy efficiency plans to serve all customer types, along with evaluating the results of potential studies and conducting comprehensive benefit cost analysis on a wide range of measures. This slide highlights the variety of natural gas demand side management programs we have available in 2024, along with the annual budgets per state to implement these state portfolios. Next slide, please. A majority of our commissions approve programs that are broken down into 3 sectors that include residential programs, non-residential programs, and special programs. Here I've highlighted listings from each of those categories. The goal of the residential retrofit program is to offer a prescriptive pathway to provide incentives to residential customers who improve their home by purchasing and installing qualifying high-efficient equipment. Trade Allies can help customers in the decision to replace aging equipment by utilizing opportunities offered by Black Hills Energy rebate programs. Most requirements include a residence have natural gas space or water heating, and that the home must be more than 5 years old. Our residential home evaluation component seeks to help customers achieve immediate energy savings by recommending ways to reduce energy consumption in their home while becoming the gateway to the broader residential retrofit program. Participants receive free measures that are directly installed by the evaluator. But in 2022, we enrolled a new virtual live stream option, and that was very successful. Customers could remotely connect to an energy advisor and no site visit was necessary. The customers are provided a do-it-yourself kit of energy saving measures that they can install at their leisure. All residential customers are eligible to participate in this program, but it mostly targets those with high bill concerns. Looking at the commercial prescriptive program, that is designed to promote a full range of energy efficient commercial cooking equipment along with space and water heating technologies geared towards the business sector. In many cases, trade allies explain the features and benefits to the customers to help them select the correct equipment for their business, as well as providing guidance to help them fill out the application. The commercial custom program addresses energy efficient natural gas equipment that is not specified in the prescriptive program. This option requires project-specific documentation and pre-approval from Black Hills Energy. Upon project approval, the customer will receive notification that they may proceed with installing the project, and once finalized, they will receive a rebate. Looking at our special program sector, the school energy education program is centered around the concept that instilling an awareness in young people around energy use will result in long-term changes of their habits. A specific curriculum that complements existing natural science-based education serves as the primary means of provoking subtle yet significant behavior changes. Educators of middle and high school students receive instructive learning materials to enhance their current curriculum. Students then receive measures, including aerators, power strips, and other efficiency products to install in their home and discuss energy saving benefits with their parents. The income qualified weatherization assistance program varies across our service territory and how it is implemented, but the goal is the same: to improve energy efficiency and comfort to our most vulnerable customers. In Iowa, income qualified funds are paid directly to the Iowa Department of Health and Human Services, and from there are distributed to community action programs for implementation of qualifying measures. In Colorado, we use a third-party contractor to administer the weatherization program and also provide additional health and safety funds to assist in completing weatherization projects. Health and safety funds can be used for mold remediation and other repairs to eliminate any environmental or well-being barriers. Next slide, please. This slide is a great example of an annual budget review in Iowa. We chose to highlight Iowa specifically because their customer base is similar to our Kansas footprint in both the number of customers served and their appetite for these programs. We have predetermined goals in the approved demand side management plan that we strictly adhere to. Throughout the year, we are laser focused on reaching the savings goals while remaining within the budget provided in the portfolio. As you can see here, we reached 119% of our therm savings goal while staying within 99% of our budget. It really doesn't get much better than this. And then if we can go to the next slide, please. So on this slide, you will see specific funding categories that contribute to the successful creation, implementation, and evaluation of the demand side management program. And then if we can go to slide 12, an overview of our portfolio plans. They are approved by a state's commissions. Utility customers funding supports 100% of the costs of these energy efficiency portfolios while incentivizing successful usage, reduction through lost revenue recovery. At the end of each fiscal year, a third-party vendor evaluates and verifies our progress. We file an annual report with the state providing overall achievements and the EM&V report for their review. The new year begins and we start all over again with the parameters of the approved plan. And now we'll open it up to any questions.
All right, thank you, Jessica and James. Let me see first if there are any specific questions to Black Hills, and then maybe we'll just open it up if there's any additional questions or discussions on any of the programs. I'm watching for hands, and I don't see anybody. You may be the victim of going last, and everybody got their got their questions out.
Yep,
All
that's
right.
fine with me.
Well, thank you, Jessica and James. Let me then open it up for any questions or comments from commissioners or staff. Maybe I'll start with a quick comment. I really thank you all for these presentations. I personally have some interest in seeing what could be available for Kansas customers from an energy efficiency perspective on natural gas. And doing some evaluation of which program offerings might be most cost beneficial. One thing I'm very interested in, and it may be something that is technologically not in the cards, but I have a lot of experience on the electric side and sort of the increasing reliance of electric gas generation. And the increasing amount of interconnectedness between our electric and gas systems as they both rely on that fuel. And so I'm particularly interested in, not necessarily just the energy efficiency and the linear improvements that can be made throughout the year, but are there programs that can be targeted to times of scarcity that would save customers money? More of a demand response type of program that would, get people to reduce their usage during, times of shortage and scarcity, to either relieve the pressure on the system during those specific times, or, if we're in a period of scarcity pricing, reduce their exposure to, obviously what we saw during something like Winter Storm Uri, of people just paying incredible bills. And are there programs that could be targeted to not just reduce their usage throughout the entire year, but to allow them to respond to those types of events and to get credit for that individually, as opposed to just protecting the system and reducing costs for the overall system? Because ultimately, we asked people to reduce their usage during that storm, and it's still some people save some money, but still there's still an overwhelming cost to the whole system. So just a few thoughts. I'm also very interested in programs that could be targeted at either low income or poor housing stock, to try to reduce the energy burden on people that happen to live in those areas and maybe can't afford to make the upgrades, or maybe live in rental housing and they don't have control over whether they can make the upgrades. So just thought I'd throw that all out there. You can do with it what you will. So very interested in how some programs could be designed for Kansas. But ultimately, we and our staff would do a very thorough review to see if they actually made sense for the state. So would turn it to other commissioners or staff for any other thoughts. I'm seeing shakes of heads. I don't see any staff coming off of or on camera. So I think we can call it a wrap, even though I stalled for a while and I still didn't get any takers. Well, let me just see what else we have here. I think that brings us to the end of our conclusion. So everybody from Kansas Gas Service, Atmos Energy, Black Hills Energy, we do thank you again for your presentations and for the information. I'm sure you will be in touch with our staff if you decide to pursue any programs in Kansas, and we'll look forward to hearing from you. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, we have come to the conclusion of everything noticed on our business meeting agenda, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn. I can see Commissioner Keither giving me the motion even though she's on mute.
I got muted. I move that we adjourn.
Second.
And I've got a second from Commissioner Keen. Got a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you all. Take care.
Thank you.